Maricopa County Sheriff Joe Arpaio keeps getting reelected. In fact, he got reelected for the 6th time recently. And it's a little funny that his constituents keep reelecting him, especially considering the fact that very recently he has cost his constituents $21.9 million. Why do I say that? Well, if you guys can remember, Arpaio has been going through a number of legal battles because of the way that he racially profiles people. He's been very, very harsh on Mexicans in his county. And also there was a big news story a few years ago where he was refusing to investigate cases where Mexican children were allegedly sexually molested.
He's such a bad guy.
He's a bad guy.
Yeah. And look, he didn't bother to see if they're citizens or not citizens. First of all, even if they're not citizens, they're kids, for Christ's sake. You're supposed to be big, tough Sheriff Joe, right? Go in there and help the kids if they're being sexually assaulted. But even so, you don't even know if they're not citizens. He just assumes, well, they're Latinos. They're probably not citizens, so I'm not going to help them. This guy's a bad guy, man. So understandably, he gets lawsuits, which cost a lot of money.
Right, so he deals with the lawsuits, and a judge recently said, you know what, we need to have, federal officials keep an eye on you. And you know what? That costs some money. There are certain things that he has to abide by, and that is what leads to the $21.9 million price tag that I was talking about earlier. So let me give you a few examples of what they have to spend their money on just to make sure that Sheriff Joe is doing his job in a legal way, all right? They have to pay for the salaries and employee benefits to launch a 7-member unit to implement changes recommended by the court order, plus 5 vehicles, 6 computers, supplies, and fuel for the unit. They also need an electronic data entry system, cameras for all patrol vehicles, and training for deputies to use the system to input data detailing the reasons and lengths for their traffic stop. So the reason why that is a situation that they have to deal with is because they keep stopping, anyone that doesn't look white. For no reason. And so that's the reason why these lawsuits keep coming in. People are like, why are they harassing us? Not only are we citizens, we're not doing anything wrong. And, Sheriff Joe and his officers keep stopping us and harassing us. They also have to pay for salaries and benefits for enough new supervisors to assure effective supervision for patrol deputies. No more than 12 deputies will be assigned to each supervisor per the court order. The county will pay for 7 additional sergeants, 3 additional deputies, and all the equipment, stun guns, and radios.
So they got to hire a whole set of extra watchers to watch the watchmen.
That's insane.
Okay.
Why are you re-electing him? You know what? I mean, it's costing you money. It's not costing me money.
No. The ironic thing is conservatives who are for limited government, and they don't want to pay any extra taxes, but now you're paying all this extra money, and they're not just picking on Sheriff Joe, and they're not doing it to all the cops. It's because of his demonstrated record that the court has ordered that he be followed and his deputies be watched, because they're not doing their job. They're not protecting all of the citizens of Maricopa County. So, he continues to be outrageous, and now he's got a brilliant new idea, by the way, which is to get Steven Seagal to run for governor of Arizona.
Sounds like Arizona is going to win.
Yeah.
In every way.
Thereby winning.
And another thing to keep in mind, if you are a constituent in Maricopa County, they're taking your tax money and they're spending it on this bullshit instead of stuff that actually helps you and your community.
Yeah. And another thing to keep in mind, too, is Steven Seagal is hard to kill.
You're a dork.
Okay.